Welcome to Channel AMAC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrate to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side so once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one getting all the insight. Now, following up in regards to the migration strategy 2024, there has been a lot of unpleasant current international student who is looking to graduate soon with the age perhaps reaching just right above 35 years of age, and everybody's mad, angry, sad, you can describe whatever. It's all unpleasant. So yesterday we have seen a news came out from ABC News. I think this will be very, very good, because that means the rumors has actually hit the public, and the public is reflecting back, which is very good, and that will obviously given pressure to the government in regards to pinpoint with a better policy, not just to wipe out all the international students who are currently, remember, they came to Australia with the current policy and regulations, who did not know what was announced this Monday by the current government, and which is not fair. So as I had predicted and advised previously and estimated and with predictions that the government will somehow implement the policy with the grandfathering law, by means if you have enrolled as an international student before 1st July 2024, there should be a current law that applies to those graduates in the future. And there should be age range differences for international students who study bachelor, master by coursework, master by research, and obviously PhD, because 35 years of age is definitely not a good fit for most of PhD students, because most of these researchers and research fellows are age around there or perhaps above. And regards to researchers, there's a long term required to be done anyway. So let's have a look at this news. I think this is very good for the upcoming policy to be implemented, and also we're looking into the new international student policy as well. There has been a prioritization and also levels of differences for the institutions coming up later next half of this video anyway. So let's quickly go through this one. So the title, as you read, international student left in limbo as a new migration strategy reduces eligible age for graduate visa, which is not fair, unjust. So they talked about this student, what is his name? He's Kenneth Chan, studying social work, and he will be reaching more, older than 35 years of age. He's concerned and talked about, and there is somehow an age discrimination. So obviously, what I can advise the people that you're currently studying Australian, go to your local members of parliament, write to them, okay? So they have pressure, and they're going back to the parliament, and they will make sure that changes can be done, not just go straight 35 years of age, which I believe it's unfair and unjust, okay? And then there are other students here. So they talk about how Mr. Chen, and there's also migration agent Kathy Yu in Melbourne being obviously interviewed by the media, and talked about it's not reasonable because most of the 20% of her client will be graduate with an age older than 35. And there's also renowned Abdul Rizvi, former Deputy Secretary of the Immigration Department, said that the targeted migration was a good development, but noted that there are 2.6 million temporary visa holders in Australia. So you still need to address those one who are already in Australia. But I'm on the same line with Mr. Abdul Rizvi, because I think for the future policy setting like that is very good, especially with my video yesterday in regards to that skills demand visa. But then obviously there hasn't been talk too much in regards to how they're going to treat the current existing international student or the upcoming international the student graduates. Okay. Broken promise is already here. So this is Gary, international student studying PhD. Again, that's exactly what I'm saying. If you're in PhD, it's more than likely you study for 4 to about 7 years. So roughly, as you can imagine, the time taken. And also for the medical school students as well, whether or not they will have enough time to go before 36. It's another, especially for those, for example, biotech or medicine researchers. Imagine, once they got those medical degree, they're already 30 plus. If they want to continue to do research, you think about this, that will be easily go beyond the age of 35. So that's exactly what they're talking about. And they also mentioned in regards to the tightening lifting English requirement, which I think it's all right. It's fair because it's only lift half points. So from 5 to 5.5. And from 5.5 to 6 or 6.5, only half. So I think that is a fair one. But obviously there are a lot of Hong Kong applicants, Hong Kong citizens, who will be affected as well, because due to the China's extradition law, that there has been an offer by UK, Canada, and also Australia for the Hong Kong citizens to actually come and stay and reside with a pathway to permanent residency. So that 36 years of age is also 35, is still affecting those ones. So I believe that what I sense, and I will predict, I think 70% that because the migration strategy didn't say that it will be, it is concrete, mandatory, compulsory, and the regulation policy is already there. So that means this is only a strategy, remember? It's something that envision with. They have not implemented yet. So there is still a lot of elements will be input in there and change will be made. So I'm still confident that the current international students will have a grandfathering law where they will just follow with the current 485 visa criteria. All right, okay, now next one is the news that came out yesterday. Now you may find this from the immigration website on the news page. So 15th of December, student and student guiding visa processing priority. Okay, so that doesn't mean that you get priority. Let's have a look. There's a level of differences here. Let's have a look at there. There has been assigned on ministerial direction by the Minister Claire O'Neill on the 14th of December 2023, number 107, formalizing Australian government processing priority for the student guiding visa program. It builds ongoing work, strengthen integrity in international education sector. So that's the same thing that they wanted to enforce, and perhaps in a way to limit those so-called ghost colleges and those institutions that provide student visa, well, not really for students to study, but for students to actually continue their stay and work in Australia, which the government do not wish that will continue by. Now this will start from yesterday. So this will kickstart from yesterday, as an evidence level is allocated to Commonwealth Registered Institution course of overseas student. That's CRICOS. That's basically the referencing number for Australian education institutions. So these institutions, if they wanted to sell or provide courses to international students, they need to be CRICOS registered education providers. So these providers will be rated by the following way. Okay, so let's have a look how they will be rated. Now, first of all, the Ministerial Direction number 107 provides the highest priority to student application lodged outside Australia. Now, they put it in bold because they have just seen too many student visa application. They lodge onshore. There's nothing wrong lodging onshore. You still can lodge onshore, but a lot of these so-called fraudsters, they basically utilizing student visa to actually continue staying in Australia and work. Well, they usually lodge their visa onshore, and they find more not genuine students lodging onshore rather than offshore. So people lodging offshore is more reliable. That's basically what the number is telling us. Okay, so the priority will go like this. So school sector, so the kids, going to year 1 to year 12. Okay, foreign affairs, defense sector. So I had never seen these kind of clients of mine. Anyway, because if it's gonna be foreign affairs, that would be high priority. Anyway, post-grad research sector. Okay, talking about post-grad again. They need to address that the age thing. Okay, higher education, that's bachelor, master, and the any course English language. Okay, you can still lodge that one, and vocational, vet, and non-award. So this will go like a priority. So school sector for the kids, most prioritized, because there's very less way that these kids application will be not genuine, because they can't work anyway. They're underage. Okay, so that will be the quickest one to be prioritized and granted. Okay, and the doctor's degree. So because doctor's degree, the research fellows, they are usually being offered scholarship by university, so it's unlikely they are not genuine anyway. Okay, then the bachelor degree, so we're talking about going into University of Queensland, Australian National University, bachelor courses, master courses, and then the early course, so that's purely studying English applicants. And the vet, you see, vet and the non-award goes to the last. Okay, and they are not prioritized. So if you wanted to still come into Australia to pick on cookery studies, carpentry, you will be putting up the very behind on the queue. And there's a lot more other one. The subsequent entrant is the for example, spouse of the visa applicants, and all the student guardian visa applications lodged in or outside Australia. So that is, student guardian. You will know what student guardian is. That's basically the guardian coming with the underage students. Well, usually the student guardian will be lodged with the student visa anyway, because if they're not lodged together, they cannot be granted. But there are some separate application anyway. But if you lodge together, because the primary applicant is going to be the student, then you will be assessed with the priority as well. Okay, so any secondary applicant, spouse, de facto partner, dependent, children who is included in primary applicant will be given same priority. And that's exactly what I just said, that if you're a guardian for the underage student, because the underage student will be the primary applicant, then you will be assessed as same speed, same priority. Subsequent entrant means secondary applicant lodge separately and offshore, so not a combined application. So that I think that's fine, because there's no priority required. They can come later on. And how late will that be? I think it will still be within 3 months anyway, so that's still fair. Okay, where the primary applicant intend to undertake 2 or more courses of study, the applicant will be given order of priority applied to a principal courses. So which course, if you study bundle sort of courses, so which course is going to be your principal course? Obviously will be the ultimate one that completed with the highest qualification, because that will be counted as your principal course, and that is the goal of your study. So for example, you come and you study a for example, graduate certificates. There's a graduate certificate course, and then on top of that, another master degree. So which one is your principal course? The master degree. Okay. Now, another scenario, you come with the English course, and then combine with a university bachelor higher education courses. So which one is your primary principal course? Will be obviously the bachelor course, not the English course. So that's where how you assess it. Okay, the new student visa priority apply to visa applicant lodged on or from 15th of December. That's yesterday. So we are this ministerial direction is in force now. Okay, current, as well as the application lodged prior this day and not yet been finalized. So all those one is already still pending. They will go on this one. So everything will go new today. Okay, a student visa application lodging in Australia will continue to be assessed according to existing processing arrangement. And let's have a look how they calculate the evidence level, shall we? And this is very important for applicant to actually choose a good institution. And also it's a weight the government has set up. I think this is very good to actually rate those high-cost education providers. And if these education provider, there's a level of 1, 2, and 3. By means 3 is the worst. 1 is very good. Okay, so how do they rate them? There is within so-called simplified student visa framework. So these providers will be rated from these items, and they are in these elements. So first of all is a rate of visa cancellation. So if this so for example, if this school or institution, they have a lot of student visa cancel. What's the difference between cancellation and refusal? Cancellation is where the students already got visa granted, they come to Australia, but they breach their visa condition. For example, they come and they did not study, and they got caught working overtime, perhaps 40 hours, 50 hours at one of the whatever the restaurant or whatever the employer there. Obviously, they breach their visa condition, so they get called by the border force officer, and they got visa cancelled. Okay, this is very, very bad. Okay, if those institutions have those kind of students, they will add 25% of weighing on calculating, the scores for the high-cost education providers. The second one is refusal due to fraud reasons. Now, we have seen this kind of stuff in our previously, where IELTS result is forged. It's not the real one, or perhaps they have identified someone else took the IELTS test for them rather than the real person. Okay, and that happened to the TOEFL test and also the SAT test in USA, which is not related to Australia. But these kind of stuff happen, or perhaps the financial support from the bank is fake. Okay, the immigration officer contact the relevant the bank officer and find out that nope, that the statement issued by provided by the visa applicant is not real. The bank officer never issued that letter. So this kind of stuff will be an issue. Also, fraud can be issues that the visa applicant did not declare. For example, they had visa refusal previously, or they have character issue previously, and they did not disclose it, and the immigration found out. Okay, and that will also be counted as fraud reason, because you are intentionally mislead the government. Okay, so you try not to tell something that had been asked, but you try not to tell. Okay, and that's categorized as misleading. Okay, and that will count toward 40%. Now that is huge. Okay, now the other 10% is all the other refusals. For example, you just your general temporary entrant or the new general student test statement is badly badly written, badly drafted. You don't provide any reasons. You were downgraded from you were a master graduate and you wanted to study a trade works, and that doesn't make any sense, and then you get refused. Okay, so that will count towards 10% of waiting. Now, next one is student visa holder becoming unlawful. Now, they are students coming from different countries to Australia, and then when they finish their study, they just couldn't bother to renew their visa. They become unlawful, and they escape. They flee from the city. They go into regional Australia, so no government official can actually find them, and they start working at perhaps agricultural field, because agriculture in Australia will still need these laborers, and they get paid by cash. Now, these if you get found, these institutions will be counted towards the 15% of weighting on their ratings. Now, last but not least, the subsequent protection visa application. So there are people saying, look, I don't want to be unlawful. I still want to be lawful, but they are very bad agents out there promoting this, getting all these international students say, look, no, don't become unlawful. Let's get you a lawful status. Let me get you a bridging visa with a file of protection visa, provided they have nothing to be protected from. Okay, there were thousands of these applications has been lodged previously, and obviously that's a fraud reason. So it's making fraud. You don't require protections anyway, and that will count towards 10%. So altogether, all these elements will count towards who? Not the visa applicant, towards the Cricos education providers. So what would that do? That will actually cause these education providers to actually pick students carefully, okay, by country, by their background, whichever it is. So the education providers don't just throwing out all the offers everywhere around the world, and then these students come into Australia causing all the problem. I think this is very, very good initiative to be done, and that will actually make Australia a better place for international education. Now, the following on is all the explanation, which I've already done that. Now, this one is talking about a small education provider and country. So they are providers. They are very, very small. They probably don't have enough number to actually calculate it into those points for these Cricos as a level of what do I call evidence level? Yeah, evidence level. Okay, they just don't have enough number to be calculated. So these will be counted towards level 2 straight away. Where is that? I read it somewhere. Counted towards level 2. So that's gonna be in the middle there. Okay, so the priority will be lesser than the the level 1 schools or institution, which is fair, and then they are so-called small countries. So if you're coming from a country where there's less than 50 students per year, that your student application will automatically goes into level 3, assessing priority there, just to make sure that everything is fine there. And package courses will also, we talked about package courses previously, that will count it towards the principal course of a study. So anyway, that's for the news update today. So we have gone through a news in regards to that the 485 visa age cap at 35, which I believe there will be changes. As we have known, there's migration strategy is only a strategy. Okay, it's not law, it's not concrete, it's not regulation yet, and these kind of news. And I urge everyone, if you're interested in coming to Australia, and if you're in Australia already, write to the local members of parliament telling them, look, this is not fair, this is age discrimination, they should sit in different timings, different offer for different courses, studies as well. Secondly, we gone through the evidence level and priority for student visa, which I believe it's very good for the future of Australian international education. Anyway, should you have more question, query, more than welcome to leave comment right down below, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.